Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Kohr Racing Network. Tonight, we are here for race number 3 of the playoffs, and we are here at the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway for what will be quite an interesting one for sure, as we got 40 laps on tap here at the big 2.5 mile 4-turn oval here. And again, we talked a little bit about it last week. 4 turns here, they all look the same. They all have the same radius, and if you look at it on a track map, you see it there. It looks like there's nothing different, but every turn handles just a little bit differently here tonight, and these drivers have a little bit work on their hands with these NASCAR trucks out here. Carl Hamworth joined in the booth by Joe Sullivan. Joe, we got race number 3 now for the for the playoffs, and this thing is still coming down to the end. Obviously, a bit of a turnaround. Last week, Tyler Helzo stretching out his lead just a little bit, but this thing is getting interesting with a couple of races to go.
Yeah, it is, and we both mentioned that Indy is going to be kind of the wild card of these 3 races here, and just kind of the uniqueness of this track and how it can get stretched out here, and then getting in and off of pit road is going to be very important for these guys here tonight. So really interested to see how everything's going to shake out here, and see if Tyler can continue his dominance, or if somebody else like Gutierrez can get another win here in the playoffs, because we pretty much coming into the playoffs thought it was going to take at least 2 wins in order to get this championship. So they each have 1. Let's see who can maybe get that second one here as we're in race number 3 here.
Got some issues with the overlays here, trying to trying to get everything cleared back up here. That's what's taking us a little bit long to get everything up and running here, but it seems like it's still giving some issues. So these drivers out there right now in their warm-ups, we're going to go ahead and try and get everything situated so we get everything nice and clean for the broadcast here. Okay, now it looks like we got everything situated for you fine, ladies and gentlemen out there. And before we get to the race here and show you what the qualifying results are, I want to get to those standings that we mentioned coming into tonight's race. And again, Tyler Helzo coming in now with a 7-point lead over Francisco Villarreal. David Duke in 3rd place, and he's got quite a bit of a mountain to climb. just to get back up into this mix, but it certainly can be done. I mean, one more bad race by Tyler Helzel is going to come right back to the field for sure. Chris Gutierrez, another 2 points back in 4th place. Matthew Hott, Chris Melton, Jonathan Tuckness, Max Shade, Zach Mayhew, and Jeff Byers are the 10 drivers here in the playoffs, but 2 races down, Joe, 2 to go, and yeah, you got Indy here tonight, and then you got the season finale. I mean, it's going to come down to the wire. I mean, unless, you know, Helzel has a great race here tonight and everybody else has a struggle, I think the points are close enough right now that really anything is possible going into the season finale next week at Homestead.
Yeah, and the potential news of Tyler not being able to make that race, it really opens the door up for these other guys. So Tyler's got to be as aggressive as he can here tonight and take all that he can. I don't know if he's maybe made arrangements to make that final race, but he said it was pretty unlikely that he was going to be able to. So he's got to kind of win it tonight if he wants to win it, right? So, but these other guys got to kind of, you know, keep that at bay and give themselves a chance next week if that's the case for Tyler and his hopes for a championship this season.
Well, qualifying is over. Warm-up is over as well. These trucks are gridding up as we speak, so let's go ahead and take a look at the results from qualifying here. And top of the boards is going to be Captain Killam with a 51.887 2 thousandths of a second ahead of Maxwell Shade, so just a smidge close at the top of the boards there, and less than a tenth of a second separating the top 6 as you got Maxwell Shade, Matthew Hott, Tyler Bryan, Tuckles for your top 5, Tyler Helzel, Scott Gilroy, Chris Gutierrez, Kyle Wilson, and Francisco Villarreal for the top 10. He says yes, Cody Brewer, Austin Smith, Robert Knox, Charles Abert, Riley Romeo, Paul Lawson, Big Duke, Chris Melton, and Kyle Roberts rounding out your top 20. And then James Wagoner, Michael Funkhauser Jr., and Scott Boyer for your 23-car field. But quite a few 5 trucks knocking a lap time in, and I guess really you can count 6 trucks not getting a lap time in, with Big Duke being 6.5 seconds off the pace there in 18th. I'm guessing that was maybe just a warm-up lap that went wrong for sure. But we got a nice sized field out here. 23 trucks are set to take the green flag. Looks like 3 are not out there on the grid right now. So wondering where Tuckles, Chris Melton, and James Wagoner are, see if they're going to actually start this race or not. But either way, we are going to start this race. Out front is going to be the 45 of Captain Killam, and we'll see if Jeff Byers can finally just, you know, crack through here. He seems like he's kind of been one of those guys best of the rest all season long, and certainly missing the first playoff race really put a hamper on any kind of chances at winning the championship here. But you still have money to race for each week, and of course you still want to finish out that season on a high note, Joe.
Oh, definitely. I mean, anytime you get a chance to, you know, race with this great competition, I mean, you still want to prove yourself, even though you know you have a chance for a championship. You still want to go out there and win a race. And you know, he made a commitment to run this whole schedule, so that's what he's going to do, and got himself in a good spot here to start this race. I'm trying to get mine over. He's working now.
Well, once again, we are ready to go. It's going to be 40 laps on tap here for the YESCAR Truck Series. Second last race, the penultimate race here on the season. And Barney is waving that green flag. We are racing here at Indy. Already a truck into the wall on the start. And it looks like we do have a few that are coming out of pit lane. You see Tuckles right there coming out of pit lane on the access road. But Captain Killam going to lead him through turns 1 and 2. Maxwell Shade on the outside. He's now going to slide in behind the 45. While Matthew Hott and Tyler Bryan battle for third.
I'm not sure what I feel. I guess the man Ford just missed queuing up there, or maybe this is part of his strategy. You know, I mean, I know. I'm not sure what the fuel window is here, but we've usually been going at least these 2 pits here, so. But we'll see if maybe these guys are thinking about maybe stretching just a one stop here. But this track and this combo is really, really air dependent. I mean, the dirty air is a real thing here, and the draft is as well. But the trucks, it's already bad enough with dirty air, but then this track and this combo is even worse. So I'm not sure how much passing is going to be done here tonight. So track position is going to be a premium as the night progresses here.
Well, Helzel got a heck of a run off of turn number 4, enough to send him 3 wide to the inside of Matthew Hott. And, I mean, he did get the pass on Hott done, but on the outside, Tyler Bryan is going to hold on to 3rd place in a good battle right there. Helzel going to slot into 4th. Matthew Hott back to 5th, but yeah, you see all the trucks filing back into to single file right now as we get everything loaded up here for the viewing public out there, and you see Captain Killam leading the way by about a half a second over Maxwell Shade, but you see him already weaving down the front stretch. I promise you that's not the fast line down there. I know a lot of times you go to tracks, we said there's multiple grooves. There's not multiple grooves on the straightaways here. He's trying to break the draft clearly already, so already some gamesmanship there from the 45, and you can do that. If you got a fast enough truck and you got a good enough line out here, if you can break away from that draft, the draft is going to help. You know, the truck's following them right there. You got Maxwell Shade, Tyler Ryan, you know, getting together. If they can link up, they'd be able to run Captain Killam back down. But if you got a truck that just handles well and you can roll through these corners, you can stretch out, and we could see a different type of race here tonight where a truck can have a breakaway.
Is it still working, or am I freezing again? I think it's good.
Yep, mine's working on my side. I got everything working on my side here.
It just looks different for some reason. The SDK is weird.
Yeah, as it does from time to time, for sure.
Yeah.
I had to close everything out, load up a different one, and then come back into this one. So maybe you want to try and do that to get back in here. But already Ituckle's catching in the field here, and he is up to 17th place, and he's got at least a touch of the draft here behind Kyle Roberts to get back up into the mix. But you see how far back he is already. He's already 6.5 seconds back behind your leader now. I mean, we've seen him many times before make up some unbelievable gaps. So just because he started from the pits doesn't mean he is anywhere near being out of this one just yet. But I'd say what, that 45 looking pretty strong early on.
Yeah, he had a race last week that he probably wants to forget immediately, and probably already has, and he's got this thing out in front now, and looking to kind of show everybody what he can do, and has had the potential to do all season long. Just has been that guy, has been the bad luck driver all year. Circumstances hasn't gone his way. I mean, you're gonna have those drivers on each side of the spectrum, right? And throughout a season, you're gonna have the guys who always get the good breaks and get lucky, and then on the flip side of that, you're gonna have guys who are in the wrong place at the wrong time, all the time. Which seems to be me, but it was Jeff Byers this season here in the YESCAR Truck Series.
Going back as we got some more battling, 3 wide, back in the back of the pack. Tuckles to the inside. He's going to get past. Going to get past Robert Knox there, and Kyle Roberts. They're still doing battle back here for 16th and 17th position. As a big hit into the wall there from Knox, and unfortunately, it's going to send him into pit lane, which is a good thing to get the repairs, but he's going to get an unsafe entry most likely as well. So that was a rough one there. We'll try and take a look at that one more time. And that's what I was up before. Like live
big
here
impact.
and try and pick up on that incident, and
so
3 wide.
Right there, you don't want to be up there right there. That's not a place you want to be in these trucks. You don't even really want to be in the second lane on the outside there.
He's able to save it, but all those marbles up there, and just pushes up the track. Hard impact, and then major impact to the inside wall there as well.
Now, Keith Powell did set up a practice session earlier and hosted, and then I got in there and I did like a 20-lap little mini race, and I was able to get some laps in with some of these guys that were in there. And man, I'll tell you what, you want to be on the bottom. You don't want to be anywhere else, really. The air and the way that the outside line is here, there's nothing there. I mean, the passes are going to be few and far, but they're going to be on the inside for sure.
Yeah, and it's kind of how low you can go in these corners. I mean, you can get below that white line. That white line is not the danger zone. Really, you can go all the way down until you get to the little rumble strips there, or to the grass, if there's no strip right there. And you need to utilize every little bit of it so you can try and get a bit of a run on the guy in front of you to set up a pass. As another one and the wall in the back there, right by Tuckers again. I think that was Keith Byer. Keith Powell getting into the end of the wall. But out front. Sorry, go ahead. Okay.
This track does produce a lot of green flag runs, so just because it gets so spread out. I mean, look how these guys are already spread out here after just 8 laps, and the ability to have a lot of room here. I mean, like I said, it's a big track, so these guys are able to spread out and stretch their legs out a little bit. The Ford is running down Captain Killam here. Wow, yeah. He's gained a lot of time here. Captain
Killam spread out his lead to about 1.5 seconds over Tyler Bryan, but Tyler Bryan's no longer the one in second place. It is Tyler Helzel in second place, and he is certainly running down our leader right now. And you see Captain Killam doing everything he can to try and break that draft, but it's already down to a quarter second. We'll take a look at pass. Actually, this is the pass for third place. Here is the pass for the lead, and you see again, getting down there on the bottom. That's what the run is right there, and see Maxwell Shade was in second place. Running that high line, gets into the wall, loses some more positions. That's how Helzel got into second, but I don't think he's going to be in second too long, Joe. He's got another rocket ship there, and he wants to do exactly what he's got to do here tonight. Win, do it convincingly, get as many points as possible, and hope that that's enough.
Yeah, so I had a thought there.
Only qualifying in fifth is not going to help him. I think that's one thing that's not going to help, but getting pitched there a little bit by Byers, that won't help either.
Yeah. No, and Byers really just needs to protect the bottom here. It's so hard to pass if you can ride this bottom. I mean, it's been a while back here, but I was able to get a win here in the Kohr truck season that we had, and that was just playing with the air. I mean, if you're on the bottom and the guy's going to try to kick you on the outside, he's going to get all your dirty air. Yeah, oh, here he is. He's going to have it here. Nope, not enough. But you're going to push all that dirty air to his nose, and then it's going to make the truck push even more. And you're going to get no grip, and that's not what you want here. These trucks are a little bit loose here with this setup, so it's going to be a lot of right rear wear here tonight, but and can kind of control on that right rear temperature. But you kind of have to. Oh, we've got pit starts already. Pit stops. Greedy air is a pit road.
Yeah, and already on lap number 10. This is pretty early for pit stops. As see Helzel now going to the outside here, going to try and do the crossover. Not going to complete it there in between 1 and 2, but yeah, I mean the idea is if you're trying to make the pass, you got to get lower than the guy in front of you. But it's the same deal for defending. You have to get lower than the guy behind you, because if you get lower, he's going to get all that dirty air, and he's going to get all that wake off of your truck. As they're going to be coming by the lap car here of Robert Knox. But you slide up there a little bit, as Jeff Byers does right there, and wow, protecting the bottom is what he's going to do. But here it is, coming off of turn number 4.
Can you get enough?
Just a little bit of a nudge coming off the corner, but still not enough, as Byers going to cross over, protect that bottom. More trucks coming into pit lane, locking up. Big impact there.
Is that Wilson?
That was indeed a Wilson, and that truck is not going to be good. You see the smoke coming off of that one.
You're going to need one of those fast repairs.
At the front, it's starting to get busy with the cars that already came into the pits coming out. You see where they're coming out right about at the time where you're going to be losing a lap, and now they're all over these leaders. Haven't already come in and taken tires, and it looked like Helzel maybe even scraped the wall there a little bit, trying to get in here, trying to get a run. We'll see if any of the leaders decide to come in this time. Not this time by. I'm kind of surprised at how early some of these guys are coming in. On lap number 10 was actually lap number 8. We had a few come into the pits as well. It seems like it's pretty early here tonight, as very close in the 76. Running, trying to get back one of his laps. I mean, he's down 4 laps right now after the heavy impact there. But that was very close. Jeff Byers says, thank you for the little bit of breathing room here. And he's going to try and check out again.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a situation where they short pitted now rather than late. If this thing, everybody's expecting it to go green the whole way. At some point you have to do that short pit.
Yeah, this is a track that tends to have a lot of green. As here comes one of our leaders, looks like both of our leaders coming into the pits. Helsel digging all the way to the line. Looks like both of them locking it up coming into pit lane.
Here comes more of the rest of the field here. Matthew Hott, Villarreal, Shade, Brian.
Ituckel's also coming in from 7th place. You see, he's not too far behind this group. He has certainly reeled in quite a few positions here so far, but we'll keep an eye on the front here, and really an eye on the next pit lane.
Gear's still a ways back here. He's the one who came first.
Came in on lap number 10, right behind him. Big Dude came in on lap number 11. So we'll take a look at pit lane. You see already Jeff Byers pulling out. Right there is the 4 of Tyler Helsel. Looks like Captain Killam either only taking right side tires or not taking at all.
Oh, looks like he only took 2 tires as well.
Gutierrez coming through turn number 1 into turn number 2. Gonna be close. Right there is the pass for second place. And now Helsel is going to get past Gutierrez, your new leader here. And I'm wondering what happened on the exit there, because I thought I seen Captain Killam coming out before Tyler Helsel.
He passed him on pit exit.
Let's take a look at it right here. And you see Jeff Byers really slow going through the corner there. And how about that? An access road pass.
And Jeff only took 2 tires.
And that could be why. Maybe he was really struggling on exit there. But now it is Gutierrez, your leader here at Indy. And Joe, this race is flying by. I mean, the races here at Indy, like I said, typically run pretty clean and pretty green. And it's very few times that we'll see any kind of cautions. Usually the cars will kind of slide up and get to the outside wall, or they'll come down kind of across the access road. Not too many yellows, and we are seeing a lot of yellows in regards to numbers. As the top 8 right now are your playoff drivers. The only one of the playoff drivers here in attendance not up there in the top is Chris Belton. Looks like him and James Wagoner not running here tonight, but we've got a battle for the lead. Helsel looking to the inside of Gutierrez. At the stripe, it's going to be Gutierrez, but Helsel's got the line, and he's got the spot.
Yeah, I think Chris, understanding that he's got the fresher tires right now, and maybe just going to tuck in behind him here and maybe trying to draft off of him and try to save a little bit more fuel.
Right behind them, right there too. Yeah, top 3 stretching out. As you got a second and a half back to Captain Killam in 4th place, and wondering if he's regretting that tire choice or lack thereof, as he is in 4th and starting to slip back from these top 3.
Yeah, it looks like everybody in the top, well, everybody except for the 94 and 45 took 4 tires.
Yeah, real interesting. Again, with this track being one that stays green, that you would elect to take only 2 tires. I mean, it's on a track that you could see some yellows. It's a quick gain to take those 2 tires, but on a track where you need to be there, you need to be in there with all the grip that you can, especially going through these fast corners here at Indy. You need all the grip possible, and I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, he's not exactly falling off too bad. Right now, he is 1.85 seconds off of the lead, but Helsel is out front, not pulling away also. I mean, he's got Gutierrez right there, and he's got Big Duke right there as well. And I'm wondering if he's trying to back up the pace here a little bit, and maybe realizing that he can kind of go a little bit further than these guys, because he pit on lap number 13, and Gutierrez pit on 10, Big Duke pit on 11. So maybe playing a little gamesmanship here and trying to really mess with their strategy and Duke sends Gutierrez right up to the back bumper into turn number 1.
Yeah, just kind of talk about the two-tire stuff too. This setup is already pretty loose, and in a situation where maybe it was a little bit tighter, I could see some of these guys taking two tires to try to loosen up the truck, loosen up the setup, because sometimes that will allow that. So, but here, man, it's already loose, and then it's going to loosen up even more, which goes to show you on that pit exit where Jeff lost the position to Tyler. I mean, he's trying to get some heat in that tire, and the truck's just upset with the two different tire temperatures combination.
Yeah, very, very flat on the access roads. And if you don't have any grip, you only have two right side tires. It's going to feel really slick on those access roads coming out. And already another pit stop. Tuckles coming into the pits. I'm really scratching my head when it comes to the pit stops here tonight, because that is what seems to be another early pit stop. I mean, we may be looking at a 3-stop race here. As you know, the leaders, the last ones to come in here, pit on lap number 13. 2 pit stops ain't getting you to 40. So unless they can stretch it out, maybe that's what Hells was trying to do here at the front, trying to stretch this thing out on fuel to try and make it on only one more pit stop. But this is going to get interesting. I mean, it looks like some have already relinquished the idea of a 2 pit stop race, and that's why they came in on on lap 8, lap 10, lap 11. They're just trying to split this thing up to 4 equal segments. But just as we thought Helzel was trying to back up the pace, he is checking out. 3/4 of a second into the lead.
Yeah, and just doing some math here, 13, 13, 13, that's 39. So he's still going to be a lap short, but like you said, maybe the other guys just said, heck with that, and we got to do 4 times. So the race we did that Keith had up earlier, I don't know if it was the same fuel percentage, but I think we were only about a 12 or 13 at pace too. So it was a 20-lap race, and I know we had to pit at least once. I can't remember what the exact numbers were, but man, that's not much in the fuel tank here.
Well, the man that has made his way back up there and maybe trying to prove us all wrong here with that 2-tire stop is Captain Killen. He, again, was out there about 1.8 seconds back from the leader. Got as close as 1.1 seconds before he kind of washed up there a little bit. But he is back here in the mix. He's in 4th place, and I'm kind of surprised here. I expect him to kind of fall back a little bit, but maybe just once he got those heat in those tires, the 2 tires are really feeling nice for him right now, and it's certainly working out. He's caught up to the back of Chris Gutierrez as Gutierrez is really starting to fall back now later in this run. I don't know if he's starting to do a little bit of fuel saving at this point or what, but Big Duke got around him, and Big Duke's got his eyes on Tyler Helzel for this lead.
Yeah, he does. He's going to try to hunt him down, but I've raced with Jeff quite a bit, and I know he loves these longer races. I think it allows him time to kind of understand the car and what the car wants, or a truck, and what it needs, and kind of adapt on the fly and make those adjustments with his line or his driving style. So he's going to get it figured out and try to get that 45 back to the front.
Maxwell shade to the inside here of Matthew Hyden, turn number 1. Bit of a slide job, washed up there a little bit, but he's going to complete the pass and move himself back up into 5th. But taking a look at Gutierrez here, he's got company with Captain Killen right behind him. Right behind them is the lap car of, I believe that is Kyle Wilson right behind them. So not for position, but getting a bit closer at the front. Big Duke has closed in the gap. It is down to less than 0.2 of a second. Gutierrez moves off to the left onto pit road. Funkhauser Jr. and Lawson also in pit road. But we may have a battle for the lead brewing here. The 78 has caught the 4, and it's game on here at Indy with 18 to go.
I gotta believe the 78's coming this lap or the next lap, because he pitted with, he pitted 1 lap after Chris Gutierrez, so he's gonna be coming soon.
And I gotta believe Tyler Helzel is in fuel save mode, because it's moves the inside. Looks like he's going just a little bit slower I think he's letting these guys into the mix here, but only because he's saving. Big Duke to the inside, getting some of the apron there, sliding up a bit, but real close to Helzel through turn number 4 now.
And really, the way that these run here, there's not a whole lot you can kind of do. I mean, you're in the throttle a lot here. I mean, it's not like a situation where you're rolling into the turn and you can clutch it and let it roll for a certain amount of time, and then you can kind of get back into it. I mean, here, you kind of have to, if you run this right, you kind of don't ever come out of the throttle. I mean, if you hit it just right. You know, you're a little bit of a brake drag on entry, and then you're like immediately back into the throttle. If you even take it all the way out, because you're trying to get this truck kind of set a little bit loose on entry so that you can get this good run off. And it's the way I was doing it earlier in that race is that's the way it was ran and fast. So I mean, obviously you can make adjustments there, but then you're going to be a lot slower. And there's so much momentum here, you need to keep that momentum up.
The Big Duke is going to relinquish second place and come into pit lane. So it's going to be Tyler Helzel by himself at the front. Captain Killam in second place right now. Maxwell Shade back just a little bit further in third. Francisco Villarreal, I haven't talked much about him, but he started back there in 10th place, currently up to 4th.
Well, now the magic number is going to be, 13 to go. If somebody pits around that time or can make it to that time. So that's the farthest we've seen somebody go here tonight is 13.
Yeah, I think if they can make it to even 14 to go, they can take that gamble on that last run and really clutch it and save. And, you know, realistically, somebody's going to try it. Somebody's got to try it, because clutching in and saving here is going to be a heck of a lot shorter than coming in for a splash and dash. So I think you have to try it here, and I would not be surprised if that's on the mind here of the 4 of Helzel. Goes around here another time as we have 15 laps to go already.
Yeah, so if he comes around and pits this time, that's going to be close. But if he makes it again, then he may be in the clear. He may have saved enough in this stint right here to make it that last 13, 14 laps here.
And that's ideally what you want to do. If you're in a situation where you need to save a lap or two, you want to do it early enough in the race so you're not worried about it. Obviously, that last run, you're worried about trying to get to the line as quick as possible and end the race as quick as possible. You don't want to have to think about fuel saving and who's on my relative and everything else. You want to just hammer down on that last run. So if you can save in this middle run, that's really what you want to do. And it looks like Captain Killam gonna come into the pits here. But Helzel, Shade, Francisco, Villarreal, Matthew Hott, Tyler Bryan all staying out here on this lap. So looks like everybody may be good to go from here if they come into the pits. Now, again, it's all speculation, but by our judgment calls, it should be good to go. They may have to save a little bit. You know, they may have been using some of the draft to help them out here, but now does anybody like to take 2 tires here? I mean, it clearly worked out pretty nice for Captain Killam, but I feel like Killam is now set up that he's got to take 4 tires in this pit stop, and that could hurt him, because I could see some guys taking 2 here.
Yeah, definitely. It depends on what the time difference is on filling this thing up, because they're gonna have to get all the fuel that they can in this thing. And here comes the 4.
4 coming into 2, looking like it's coming in as well, as is the 24. Matthew Hott also in, Tyler Bryan in, as Bryan makes the pass on the 17 on the way into the pits. Taking a look here at Chris Gutierrez. He is on the backstretch right now, right down at the middle of the backstretch. And these leaders are coming into the pits. Helzel still not into his stall, and he's going to have to pack that thing full of fuel to make this thing to the end. Gutierrez coming through turn number 3. So we'll see where this plays out. Gutierrez should have a bit of a lead here, as he came in early, and he should be able to get it done with the short pit. And we take a look at Tyler Helzel coming out, but right in front of him, Tuckles. And this is not for position. Tuckles on lap car out here at this point. But Gutierrez is going to make the pass right there. You see it, and it's going to be by a decent margin, but Gutierrez cannot make it on fuel. He is last pit on lap number 22. He's going to have to make it 18 laps on fuel, and that is not going to happen here tonight. He's going to have to come in at least for a splash and dash, so he needs a caution to really kind of put him in the spot that he needs to be in right now. He's in the lead. It feels nice, but not going to make it. Big Duke, kind of the same thing. 16 laps on fuel. I don't see that happening right now, so I think Big Duke going to have to come in as well. Tyler Helzel, Maxwell Shade, Francisco Villarreal, probably good to go. Have to kill him a bit on lap 26. Should be able to stretch at the end. Again, all speculation here, but it looks like Helzel should be in the catbird seat here and doing exactly what he needs to do here on the second race last of the season. And that's just trying to get maximum points here, just in case he can't make it next week.
Yeah, and he took your advice there and took 2 tires. That's why he's out in front of these guys by 7-8 seconds now, and was able to just be that much faster on pit road just by taking those 2 tires. And now, if he needs to, he could save a little bit, but it doesn't look like he's saving. He's trying to get around some more cars here.
Yeah, to the inside there of Scott Boyer, one of the lap cars here, trying to stay right behind Tuckles and have him lead the way through this pack, as both these drivers got some fresher tires than your leaders right now of Chris Gutierrez and Big Duke.
Yeah, he knows. I mean, he's just trying to maybe stay in this draft here too to save a little bit more as well. But he knows those 2 guys have got a pit, and the 94 is on the tail end of the lead lap here. Well, I guess he's a lap down, but he'd be the lucky dog if we got a caution right now.
I mean, right now, the gap that's important here to look at is Helzel to Shade, because unless we're missing something, unless these guys are going way off strategy here, Gutierrez and Big Duke are going to have to come in the pits. So the race is not with them at all. It doesn't matter what they do, unless they go into absolute ridiculous ultra fuel save mood, then you just got to get around them. But other than that, you stay right here and you maintain that gap back to Shade, which is now 6.5 seconds. So he is certainly looking good here. Tuckles very close, a little bit of a bump there. And here comes Gutierrez giving up the lead. Looks like Helzel's going to slide back in there, and certainly tempers coming to a boiling point here.
Yeah, we wondered how they would race each other here. Oh, look at that. He's got damage. Big time damage to the 4. Oh my goodness.
Take a look at the front of it, and how is that going to handle going forward through the rest of this race? 10 laps to go. Still has a 5 3/4 second lead over Maxwell Shade, but clearly some damage to the right front of that Liberty University number 4.
The Maxwell Shade was 0.8 of a second faster than that last lap. And that, I mean, you can see it on your screen there. That time.
Big loose off of turn number 4 there for Tyler Helzel. Just hanging on to it, keeping off the wall, but he is definitely a little bit slower than what he's been. He's losing the 2 drivers out front now. Big Duke, your leader, and then the lap car of Tuckles, who is right up behind them. But again, Big Duke needs to come into the pits yet before this thing is over. Francisco Villarreal, meantime, has caught the 2 of Maxwell Shade. And now the question is,
what happened to the 2 there? He was gaining a bunch of time, and then all of a sudden it just plateaued.
Will he go for the pass here, or will he try and link up and try and drive down the 4 of Helzel? And the battle back here as Tyler Bryan are right behind the 45 of Captain Killen, the battle for 5th place. We go back up to the front, and what should end up being the lead here for Helzel down to 5.3 seconds, so still dropping some time to Maxwell Shade, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think he's losing enough for Shade to get back in the mix of this thing. 8 laps to go. Still quite a long way in this race for sure, as we still got 20 miles left, a little bit less than that right now, but that's certainly got interesting there between the Helzel and Tuckles, and certainly no love lost. And we see the way Tuckles is going to run that 4 here tonight, so maybe the 4 just kind of hold him back here a little bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised the 4 is able to keep pace here with no right front fender at all. I mean, that's got to be a huge parachute. I mean, I'm just blown away with the pace he's able to keep going here. I mean, I get he was probably in their draft, but I'm sure he's probably lost some of that at this point, and some of that air is just tunneling into that truck right there in the right front.
It's lighter. It's lighter right now, so that's why he's able to keep it in speed. But
as for the 24 and 2, they need to work together, right? I mean, I know there's the laps are dwindling, but there's the 24 no purpose right now to try to pass the 2 until the last lap, right? I mean, I know it's for position, but right now let's work together until we get to that last lap, and then let's fight it out, because at that point they can't catch Tyler, or if they did catch him, but it looks like Tyler's able to keep this gap at bay here.
I mean, again, a reminder of the points. Villarreal comes in to this race only 7 points behind Helzel, and if Villarreal qualifying back down there in 10th, Helzel in 6th, so not really any kind of points difference in that aspect. So if he can come home in 2nd place here, not a lot of damage being done, and he's got a chance with a good finale next week if Helzel's not able to make it, to maybe claim this championship before it's over. Now there you go. There's the pass for 2nd place. Technically 3rd place on the track right now, but we're assuming that Big Duke still needs to make one more pit stop. But Maxwell Shade not going away. It's going to be a side draft down the backstretch for Villarreal to keep on at the inside line. Shade got a good run on the outside, a little bit of bumping and banging heading into turn number 3. Joe, the elbows are out tonight.
Yeah, they are. And then 24 is going to run that 2 up into that high groove where you don't want to be here at all. You just lose so much momentum, and the truck just will not turn up there. You really got to hug this bottom.
Tuckles now. Looks like he's done pushing that 76, and he's going to go to the inside, or sorry, that 78, and make the pass again. Back on. Is that back on the lead lap now?
Stretch it here?
Yeah, Tuckles back on the lead lap now, but yeah, I mean,
that's 2 whole laps over the course of 4. I mean, that's a monumental. I mean, that is just too much. I mean, he's
running faster lap times than Tyler Helzel, so I don't think so. But I mean, it's about a 1.5 seconds slower than his fastest lap. So maybe Helzel's trying to save 2, but looks like Big Duke gonna come in here this lap. And that's going to give over the lead to Tyler Helzel. 3 seconds, though, is the gap. Villarreal is on the move, gaining 0.6 seconds just on that lap, or the previous lap. This lap gained 0.9 seconds. We've got 4 laps to go, and if it's that kind of pace, this thing is on.
Yeah, we'll see what the gap is after this lap is completed, and we'll come to 3 to go. But definitely looked like it was closing there, and I gotta believe the damage is coming into play now with nobody in front of the 4 here.
Take a look at the lap times there. Villarreal and Shade both gaining on Helzel lap after lap. 0.4 seconds, 0.5 seconds, 0.8 seconds, 0.4, 0.8, getting huge chunks here. But it looks like maybe Helzel is done saving, as it seems to be kind of steadied off here. We'll go back to Helzel, and we'll take a look at the lap time this time by.
The yellow flag is out.
And throw all that out the window. Yellow flag is out. And this thing is going to come down to green-white checker. Forget the fuel saving, forget the strategies, forget everything. This thing is now going to be very, very interesting. As we've got a yellow, it's going to come down to a green-white checker here at Indy.
And you know who is going to benefit the most from this? It's going to be the 78, because he stayed on the lead lap. Unless he just took fuel, which it looks like he may have. Oh, man. Which I guess there would have been no reason to take tires there. But, oh, man, if you would have somehow took tires there, he would have been in prime position. Because I think if you're Tyler, you have to come and pit, right?
Yeah, everybody's going to have to.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have to come into the pits here. I think even Big Duke and Gutierrez. I mean, maybe you can stay out here and try and hold them off, but I think the tire difference is going to be pretty massive here in the end. Tuckles has got to be happy he's back on the lead lap here. I mean, he's seen him battling there with with Big Duke. He gets his lap back, and it looks like Gilroy is going to be the one that's going to be the lucky dog. But let's go ahead and take a look at what brought out this caution. And looks like it is the one of Cody Brewer here. And this is absolutely a shame. He pulls off the track, stops nowhere near, but I think because there was another car coming on the access road is why the caution flew.
Yeah.
That little thing right there is what brought out the caution. The leaders have picked up the pace car, and I think the heart rates have picked up here a little bit too.
Yeah, and the heart rate's monumental on pit road with these pit crew guys. I mean, this is the money stop, right, Carl? I mean, it's playoff time. It's green, white, checker time. It's 4 tires and get me out of here time.
Again, I mean, you know, for Francisco Villarreal, a win, he doesn't necessarily need a win tonight. I mean, if Helzel is not going to be there next week, he just needs to be right there with him. He can't finish, you know, 2-3 spots behind him. He's got to be right there, and here we go. Here comes everybody. I think Helzel was trying to make him think that he was going to stay out there, but he is going to come into the pits. He's going to bring everybody with him. Now the question is, yep, there you go.
Oh!
Gutierrez deciding to stay out. Big Duke is going to come in to take some tires. Now, I would not be surprised if we've seen some guys take 2. So we're going to have to really take a look at this and see what we see coming down here as Gutierrez in the pits. Tuckles also electing to stay out here. He last pit on lap 26. He can't make it on fuel. From lap 26, that is a long, long way. But we'll take a look at the trucks here and see who is going to win. Battle off of pit road. It is not going to be Tyler Helzel. I can tell you that right now. It is going to be Captain Killam winning the battle off of pit road. And doesn't have to worry about anybody passing him on the access road this time. Now, Captain Killam looks like he may have only taken either just fuel or maybe right side tires, so 2 tires. Tyler Bryan looks like he took 2 tires as well in 4th place. And then Tyler Helzel right there behind him. Big Duke gaining some positions as it looks like he just took maybe 2 tires as well. But Gutierrez staying out here. He should have enough fuel to make it at least this green white checkered here. Tuckles, I mean, I feel like this is one heck of a gamble here. Again, last pit on lap number 26. I know he was tucked in behind Big Duke for quite some time.
Yeah.
So maybe he was saving a boatload of fuel when he was running behind, but it's a long way to go, long way to save fuel here, as we're still not even 1 lap to go.
And he's taking the risk on the fact that we're only going to have 1 green, white checkered. I mean, if we go 2 or to the 3rd one, well, we definitely ain't going to have enough for the 2nd. You know, I mean, so he's banking on the fact that we get this thing started and come around.
And there
we
it
go.
is.
He's coming down.
I think that is the right move here from Tuckles. Going to give up 2nd place here, but he's going to have enough fuel at least to finish this thing, and you never know what happens at the front if things get mixed up. If he runs out of fuel, he has no chance to pass anybody, but at least, you know, if he's got some fresh tires here, full tank of fuel, he can at least make this thing to the end. But we've got 12 drivers that are going to be on the lead lap here once we get the wave rounds completed. And it is going to be Chris Gutierrez at the front of this pack. You see the pace truck lights are out. These drivers getting their wave rounds right now. And we got green white checkered here at Indy. 2nd race last of the season. Let's get this thing going here. I mean, everything is done here. We run already 40 laps in this race, so we're in overtime right now. 40 wasn't enough. Let's get some more.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing for 94 coming down pit road there's only 12 trucks on the lead lap, right? So, I mean, you're going to be, I mean, he's in 10th right now, so he's already in the top 10. He's going to get some kind of points. And you know that old saying, cautions bring cautions?
Yep.
He's in the back. He can get out of the way. He's going to have some time. I know he's going to be probably aggressive on the start, but I mean, you have varying tire strategies up at the front of the field here. You guys got this guys that the 47 who stayed out, the 45, the 12 have 2 tires, 78 has 2 tires. So a lot of different strategies up at the front of the field here, and oh yeah, hey, it's the playoffs, so elbows out, right? So
yeah, I mean, you look at the front of the field, you got Gutierrez, no tires, you got Captain Killam, 2 tires, Tyler Bryan, 2 tires, and then finally in 4th place is the first truck with 4 tires, Tyler Helzel, Big Duke, 2 tires, and then the rest of the field taking 4 tires, so all different kinds of strategies at the front. Does Gutierrez have enough to survive here? And again, you brought up cautions, breeding cautions. If he can stay out here in the lead and cautions come out and end this thing under caution, he pulled out a flyer, but he is the control truck here for the restarts. Green, white checker time here at Indy. Gutierrez on the loud pedal, and we are racing again. Helzel stuck in behind Captain Killam right now, trying to look to go 3 wide, got very close to the back bumper, and you see all the trucks getting close together again here. Gutierrez doesn't have...
Here comes Duke.
Doesn't have the speed, but he's holding them off right now because they are mixing it up here. Duke gets around. Helzel, big impact into the back.
Not sure who that is.
I think that's Scott Gilroy. Hard impact. We keep it green out here. Gutierrez still out in the lead, but there it is. Big Duke.
Is he hanging it? Oh, no,
he does not back up on the track. Caution back out. And you said it. Didn't even get back to the white flag. We got another caution here. And we'll take a look at it right here. Helzel getting into the back of Big Duke. Sends him sideways. Duke trying to save it. Collects the 17 of Matthew Hott as well. So 2 playoff drivers involved in this one.
Jeff Byers has gotten to the wall at the same time too, so it was calamity everywhere through that turn. And Gutierrez was coming out just so close from in and taking that white flag.
Take a look here real quick and see what happened to Scott Gilroy on this restart.
A little bit of tire spin there, gets it going.
Because he shot straight to the left, and I'm guessing that's a truck that just got a little bit too loose or off the wall. Big checkup right there, and then gets tagged. Big impact there. More than 99. And then one more time. See it coming through turn number 3 here. The 4 of Helzel gets a good run through the corner. Big Duke in the middle of the track. The 45 of Byers trying to stay out of it, gets into the wall. Even gets tagged by the 24 a little bit, but it's the looseness from the 4 touching the back of the 78. Gets Big Duke loose. Tries to save it, and unfortunately Matthew Hott is an innocent bystander there, and he gets taken out pretty severely as well. Big impact there for the 17 as Big Duke backs it into the wall. But that puts us under another green-white checkered at attempt number 2 now. Joe?
Oh,
Chris Gutierrez. Oh, there's only 2. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there's 2. Yeah.
So Chris Gutierrez, again, may have pulled off a flyer here, as he got a good enough run on that first one right there, brushed the wall even, and still had the lead to hold it until that caution. All he's got to do is do the same thing again. If another caution comes out on this restart, that's a wrap. Gutierrez gets the win. But does he have enough to get this thing green-white checkered and get it home? And I think he has enough fuel.
Yeah,
he
I think he'll be fine on fuel.
He should, but I mean, I know there's been enough under caution here. But he last been on lap number 30. We're now coming up on 43 and a half laps right now. So 13 and a half laps of fuel that's been burned so far. A few under caution, but it's got to be on the mind a little bit here.
Oh, definitely. And, well, not only are you worried about fuel, but when you get to get this thing stacked up and then restarted, oh, guess who's going to be starting right behind him? Yeah, number 4 truck. So, a lot going through the head of the 47 camp right now, and how they're going to pull this off. Obviously, they control this restart. and he had a really good restart this last time, so really just kind of copy and paste what he just did, and I think he can come away with a win here tonight. But you know, that's all easier said than done, as he's going to have a lot of guys behind him wanting to get a win here tonight.
So now I'm not sure if they have the option of choosing which lane they want to run. I know the inside line is where you want to be for turn one, but because of the order here, and with Helzel being in third, do you take the outside here on the restart and put somebody else on the inside to make sure you're getting a good jump and he's not getting a good jump behind you?
Actually, potentially, yes. I think if they did have a lane choice here, I would definitely consider the outside, because obviously you're still the control trucks, just the control car, so you can get control when this race starts. You can get enough start and be able to clear the inside lane going into turn one, then you're clearing the 12 truck, right? Which would be in front of the 4. So you'd be clearing 2 of those guys, and then the 4 would have even more trouble to try to get to you. So the outside lane would have been a choice here, but I'm not sure if they have lane choice. But if they did, I would definitely, you know, at least talk about that or consider it, and just nail this restart and be able to try to clear these guys going into turn one.
Well, as it stands, Chris Gutierrez on the inside. It's Gutierrez, Ryan Helzel, Captain Killam, Villarreal for your top 5, then Shade, Abert, Ituckles, Hot. Keith says yes for the top 10, so a nice bounce back there by Keith Powell, getting up into the top 10 here late in the race. Second attempt at the green-white checkered. So we will take the green. If the yellow comes out, that is race over. If the white comes out, then the checkered will end it. But can we make it that far? Can Chris Gutierrez make it that far? Can he hold off Tyler Helzel for that far? This is going to get fun for sure. Thank you to everyone out there tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that Syrian has to offer, as we got great racing all over the place here. If you tuned in earlier, you got to see a fantastic season ender there for the CSRL GT Series at Season 10 for the individual points. Still got one more team event coming up in 2 weeks, but this thing is not over yet as well. This thing is playoff racing at its best. YESCAR Truck Series, second last race of the season. Man, it's going to be hard to not pick Tyler Helzel here, but a good restart once again by Gutierrez. The 24 of Villarreal right on the back bumper of the 4.
Give him a push. He's going to be there.
Very close through turn 1. And big wobble by the 24. He's going to lose some positions. How about Ituckles, the comeback? Not too long ago, he was battling just to try and get back on the lead lap. Now we got a battle for the lead. Tyler Helzel to the inside of Gutierrez. A yellow would end it, and he got Brian pushing the 47 to try and stay out in front. But now the 12 getting loose. 94 into second. What does Ituckles have for Helzel on this final lap? Caution is out, and by all accounts, that will do it here tonight. We'll take a look and make sure that that is the checkered. And if it is, Tyler Helzel is going to get it done. And more importantly, look at where the 24 has finished. Was right there, had a chance at the win. This is the white flag. They just need to come around this time. It is going to be Tyler Helzel getting the win, but more importantly, a big points gap now between him and the 24 with 1 race remaining. And I mean, realistically, I mean, with Big Duke's not in the mix, I don't think, but Chris Gutierrez may have enough to jump all the way up there and get pretty close to second place over Francisco Villarreal with this kind of finish here. So this is a big hit to Villarreal when it looked like he could have finished second here tonight, and he's going to finish 7th.
Yeah, unfortunate last lap there for the 24 and for the 47, who, you know, had a chance here as well to maybe gain some points and get back into it. But it looks like maybe the 4. We'll have to wait until we see the numbers after this race and they post the points, but you may have enough to not even worry about next week, possibly.
He did exactly what he needed to do here tonight and be in the right spot at the right time. And he is going to come home as your winner. Checkered flag in the air. Tyler Helser going to win this thing under caution. Tuckles, what a battle back for the 94. I mean, that was unbelievable. Again, he was a lap down. He was battling with Big Duke just to get on the lead lap. All of a sudden, he comes home in second place here tonight. What a finish here. What a run. Tyler Helser, your winner. Tuckles in second. Chris Gutierrez in third. We got the full rundown, but man, anything and everything is happening at the end of these races here this season, the way it seems. And this time, Helser survives it. We'll take a look at the restart and the run for this last one here. One more time, and we'll keep our eyes right here on Tyler Helser for what ended up being the race-winning restart here. And I think, unfortunately, Villarreal is probably going to be scratching his head right now, thinking if I just would have went to the inside here and maybe put a little pressure on the 4 instead of pushing him, it could have been a big difference here. But you see right there, big bobble by the 24. Lost a ton of positions. You see him still slipping back. But Helser getting the run off of turn number 2, goes way to the inside.
He was able to be that loose and still keep a run going there on the 47 and then stick it on the inside. I don't think the 47 anticipated that.
I think the 12 went pretty deep here and pushed the 47 up.
And that started a big mess right there.
Just getting it done.
What was the caution?
Yeah, we'll take a look at the caution right now.
One back there in the wall.
And Roberts in the wall and down into.
There, okay. Funkhauser.
Catches Funkhauser, catches Kyle Wilson, I believe, as well. That is what brought out the caution here to finish this thing. But Tyler Helser is going to get the win. We'll take a look at the final results here for tonight's race. And again, it's going to be Helser, your winner here tonight. Tuckles, Chris Gutierrez, Tyler Bryan, Captain Killen for your top 5. You got Maxwell Shade, Francisco Villarreal, Charles Abert, Matthew Hott, Big Duke for the top 10. Keith says yes. Gilroy, Wilson, Roberts, and Romeo for your top 15. Funkhauser Jr., Boyer, Smith, Lawson, Brewer, Knox, Melton, and Wagoner for your 23 car field here tonight. Joe, we got one more race left in the season. It's going to be tough to catch Tyler Helser, whether he is there or not, because of this performance here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he did exactly what he needed to do. I mean, just come in here and get the race win, and if he can't make it next week, then, you know, it is what it is. At least he did everything he could here this week and give himself a chance. We'll see what the numbers are, but, you know, maybe everybody's going to be fighting for second next week, but let's see what the numbers are. But, I mean, just continuing his dominance, right? I mean, he won 6 races in the regular season. He's got 2 now, back-to-back here in the playoffs, and like we said, we kind of thought it would take 2 races to win this championship. So with just the massive gap that he had just to start, you know, with the 18 bonus points is you know, I think going to come into play here and maybe afford him that luxury to have a race where he can drop and not show up. So it'll be unfortunate that we won't be able to talk to him, being the champion and all, but maybe he can chime in through his phone or something.
Or maybe he may not be able to make the race start, but maybe he can come in a little bit later if that is the case.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go ahead and start having a chat with our top 3 here tonight. And it was certainly a fun one, but we'll bring in our third place finisher. Joe, why don't you go ahead and take the third place finisher here tonight, the 47 of Chris Gutierrez.
Hey, Chris, got a copy?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, you didn't want that second green, white, checkered, but I think you did everything you could there on that first one, and just unfortunate the caution came out there, and I think you gave it everything you could on that last one. Just the 4 kind of got underneath you there, and I think you got maybe a little bit of a push going into 3 and the truck shoved up there.
Yeah, I mean, as Kyle Busch said, he would have won the Daytona 500 in 1998. Well, if that was official racing, we would have won the race because of the green white checker. But no, that was a gamble, and it worked out that we got the caution the second time. We were short on gas, which I don't really understand because I auto-fueled to have 4 laps extra, and somehow we ran slower laps and I had less fuel. So I don't quite understand that, but yeah, it worked out okay. I don't know how we were going to shake out if the race didn't get a caution towards the end. I knew I took 2 tires. I don't know what Duke took, but I was ahead of him. I knew he was going to be hauling, and I don't know if he was going to have enough laps to catch me or not. So I think we're still heading for a top 5, so maybe we stole a better finish than we deserve. But yeah, it wasn't very easy to pass. So pretty early in that race, I knew I was going to have to do some strategy and try to F1 it a little bit, get some clean track, and make some lap time.
Yeah, talk about the fuel strategy. I mean, it looks like I think a couple guys were going to be able to make it on 2 stops there. Was there just no way you didn't think because you were one of the first ones to come down pit road?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of looked at the estimate and it was saying 13 laps, and I'm admittedly not the greatest fuel saver, so I kind of didn't think I was going to be able to do that. And I also noticed like the tires did make a difference because the first time I pitted earlier and I got to the lead and I was like in 6th when I pitted. So I kind of decided it was going to be a tire strategy over fuel. But I knew on the last pit stop I was only going to take 2 tires and be a little bit slower, which kind of sealed my fate for that caution because obviously I had taken 3 sets of rights. I only had a set of lefts. So I'm like, I don't know what this will do because I've got worn out rights and I'd have fresh lefts. I don't try that very often. So I didn't want to go to the laboratory, so to speak. So yeah, good finish, clean race, despite the fact that we got a little argy-bargy in the last corners. No hard feelings. I was on older tires. I appreciate the 12 not just wrecking me. He definitely got into me, but that's probably because I was slow for the corner. But no hard feelings there. He's just doing what he's got to do, and I'm kind of a roadblock. But it was the move I had to make to try to get back in the championship hunt, and hopefully after last week, so hopefully we're within possibility distance, and we'll go to the last one and give it all we got.
Yeah, I just talk about the setup here. It felt like it was a little bit loose and really not too much opportunity to fuel save, right? I mean, you're in a throttle almost all the way around here. It's, even in the turns, you're in the throttle, a little bit until you're all the way back into full throttle.
Yeah, I mean, if other guys were loose, then I want their car. I was plowing tight the whole race until I put the 2 tires on it. Actually, it was slow. It was slower, but the handling of it, like the responsiveness of it and getting it through the center for me was better. So if I could have done that with 4 tires, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, it was very hard to pass. It's just the draft is such a thing, and you gotta really assert yourself, and a lot of times to race it into, you got to have the guy on the outside willing to give you room, because if he really chooses to turn into Ryan Newman, it's extremely hard. It's extremely hard to complete a pass without putting yourself in a very uncomfortable position. And obviously, that's the last thing I need to do. Is I did not need a wreck tonight.
Yeah, and just the air here. I mean, dirty air is a big thing in these trucks, but it seems like it's more magnified here at this track, right? Or do you feel that way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like when I was behind somebody, I couldn't hit. One, I can't see my marks because there's a truck in front of me, and then 2, it's just dirty air. So yeah, it's it's Indy. There's some cars you race here that are actually really fun. Like the 87s are fun. The Gen 4 is really fun because you have horsepower. So you can make a lot of things happen with your rotation with your right foot. But the trucks are kind of, I won't say light switchy, but they're definitely. I was in practice and I was amazed how far I was driving into the corner. I was like, this feels like an Indy car. I mean, I got to a point where it was like I could almost go through the corner. I mean, it wasn't fast, but I could go through the corner without hitting the brakes, just lifting out of the throttle. So yeah, it was an adventure. I haven't run a truck here in a long time, so it was definitely a learning experience.
Well, you had a chance to win it here tonight, but you come home in 3rd otherwise. But good race. Like I said, I think you needed to get back into get a finish, get back into this playoff hunt, and give yourself a chance next week at Homestead. So congrats on that. And before we let you go, anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, give a shout out to my spotter / crew chief, John Napier. He did an awesome job for me tonight. We had a great strategy. We almost screwed it up when we got to the second rear wide checker, and I'm like, it says I only got 2 laps left. And he goes, well, that's a problem. I'm like, yeah, that's a problem. So we got a little bit of luck on our side. So maybe we rode some luck from last week, because everything that could go wrong did go wrong last week. So I'm looking forward to next week. No place I'd rather go to try to get back in this. I love Homestead. It's one of my favorite tracks.
Right on. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Yep.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 47 of Chris Gutierrez. 2nd place tonight is going to be the 94 of Jonathan Tuckness, iTuckles. Jonathan, first, do we have you?
Hey, fellas, sorry about that. I had the mic muted. I got kids all around me.
You're good, buddy.
I'm not sure what you said out of the gate, but just a pleasure to be here, fellas.
I just brought you into the booth, so you're good. I guess the question is, what the hell are you doing here? I mean, you were one lap down, just a few laps left in this race. The way it seemed, all of a sudden, a couple cautions, you battled, got your lap back with Big Duke there, and then some timely cautions. All of a sudden, you're back up here in the mix of this thing.
You know what, man? I just made a decision after last week that I was just going to start in the back, run in the back, and just see how the rest of this thing played out and just kind of let other people see what I've been seeing. There's not going to sit here and say things that don't need to be said. All I want to say is I appreciate Duke having me in the league. I appreciate YESCAR and Keith, everybody that's got a hand in this. You guys do a great job with the broadcast. I shouldn't be here. I should be P10 where I was trying to finish, but you know, sometimes the cards flip over and the cards face backwards and forwards, and I just happen to be a forward-facing card tonight.
Well, I mean, a heck of a run and a heck of a battle back. It's not easy at a place like Indy to be a lap down and fight it back, get the lap back, and essentially, you know, get the yellow flag to give you a free 2.5 miles to catch back up to this field. But coming to those last couple restarts there, obviously you came in there on lap 40, got you some fresh tires to try and make your way up through the field. How was the truck feeling on 4 tires here tonight? Because we've seen a lot of different strategies here, especially at the end. Guys not taking any tires, some taking 2, and some taking 4. So what was the you know, kind of the tire feel difference here on the truck?
Well, after all the running the track built up through practice and qualifying, because the practice is so long, even 4 fresh tires still feel really slimy. So there's not a bunch of grip just because you slap new tires on it, and you got to be real methodical and not stick your nose where it doesn't belong, and you know, just really try to take care of everyone around you as best as you can. I made one mistake where I got into FJV off the corner, which definitely cost him. We've already talked about it. I'm not happy about it. I'm glad that he saved it, but he's 10 times the wheel man that I am. I wouldn't have saved it. I'd have been upside down. So the tires let me put the truck where I want it, but maybe yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to say, man. I was expecting a top 10 to come in here P2, come out of here P2, going into Homestead. You know, I don't think the points are in my favor. I think I'm too far removed from getting a good finish in the points, but, you know, we got some screen time.
Absolutely, and you made a heck of a comeback here tonight to get that screen time, so congrats on the second place here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Well, thanks to you guys, of course. You guys do a great broadcast. Your overlays are fantastic. I don't know how often people tell you that, but they really are. Thanks again to Duke, everybody in this league that races side by side, and, you know, even the guys that are maybe a little off pace that give way to the guys that, you know, they're here trying to learn from. I appreciate all that. McConey set up shop all over the truck. Desert Rose Boco on the hood, and, you know, of course, special thanks to Michael Funkhauser. He's the one that got me here and kept me through it.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the second place here tonight. We'll see if you can finish this season out strong at Homestead next week.
Thanks. Take care.
That was Jonathan Tuckness, iTuckles, in at the 94, finishing in second. Last one is going to be your winner here tonight. Joe, why don't you go ahead and take the 4 of Tyler Helsel?
Hey, Tyler, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you kind of did what you had to do here tonight and got yourself back-to-back wins. Before I guess get going here, are you going to be gone next week, or has that changed?
Yeah, I won't be showing up, and I don't think a lot of these guys want me to anyway. So I'll be missing.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to wait to see what the points look like, but may have it clinched already as we'll have to wait to see what the points are. But you won't be there next week, so I mean, you wrapped up here with this season, and I mean, you dominated the playoffs like you dominated the regular season. Get your second win here tonight. Kind of talk me through your race here. Were you able to? I mean, it went green that whole way until that caution. Were you going to be able to make it there? Were you able to stretch it that final run?
Yeah, I was good. I was going to make it, and I really wish it would have went green the whole way, because it would have been a a really clean race for me, and I had it pretty much on lock. I was 3 seconds ahead and good on fuel, so, but the caution came out, so.
We noticed it looked like you and the 94 got into each other a little bit and had some contact, and then you had no right front fender. And I was kind of surprised of how, I guess, it didn't affect you. It seemed like, you were able to at least keep pace there and kind of hold those guys. Did you notice anything different?
I had no clue that my fender ripped off. I think it was a visual glitch on the replay because
okay.
I didn't even notice it, and I didn't see any change in my car. And the reason why I backed up so much was because I was saving for the fuel, and I saved enough, and I was going to be good to the end.
Yeah, we kind of wondered that as well. Just, you backed your pace off because you had such a lead at that point that you could afford to back it up. I mean, you came down and got 2 tires, and the rest of the guys got 4. And they were kind of gaining on you, but then it kind of just plateaued there at the end, and really you could have just cruised those last couple laps if it stayed green, because I think you had about 4 seconds on them. So I don't think you were in any danger, and the damage wasn't too bad. But nonetheless, you came down and had to get the fast repair and got 4 tires and the 2 green white checkers. You're able to get around on that second one there, and kind of talk me through that restart and what your plan was there.
Yeah, I mean, I may look back at it here. I got squeezed between Duke and Captain off of I guess you could say 3, and coming down into the next corner off of the long back straightaway, I misjudged it, and I thought Duke was going to be a lot more ahead of me, and I think he just kind of checked up in the middle of the corner just a little bit, like let off the gas to stay off of Captain there, and I really just misjudged it. I thought we would have more room in between us, and he came right off my front bumper, and it's all on me. It's nobody else's fault. I made a big mistake.
Yeah, we've seen that contact there. You just had such an unbelievable run right there, and I mean it's the end of the race, right? I mean it's the end of the race, it's the end of the playoff race, and everybody's trying to get what they can get, and this track is so much momentum, right? I mean you have to keep that momentum up to keep your lap times down and try to keep the speed in this thing. How did you feel that the truck was, out in clean air versus dirty air here tonight?
Yeah, I felt like I was really fast, and I think I was a little nervous coming in here because I've never raced here, but I felt really fast, and I was really confident coming in here, and I just wanted to get as much of a point lead as I could, and I just really wish that I finally made a strategy work for once. I never can usually make those happen, and I finally made it work, and then we got a caution, and that just caused everything to go wrong, and I made a bunch of mistakes, and that's 2 weeks in a row that I've made a mistake, so yeah, I'm just a little disappointed in myself.
Well, nonetheless, I mean, I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk to you next week or not. I mean, I don't know if you can be somewhere to chime in on the Discord or whatnot, but it's been a blast watching you race here this season and all the dominating fashion that you did and winning all these races and everything. So congrats on another win here, and maybe we can get a chance to talk to you next week. But if not, congrats on the season, and we'll see you at the points show. And before we let you go here, anybody want to give a shout out to or thanks?
Yeah, shout out to you guys, and shout out to the Duke. I'm really apologize to him. Really sorry about that. I shout out to all the racers we raced. They raced me really clean, and I'm sorry for making mistakes. And yeah, I'm thankful to everybody just running this. I think you guys really good job on the broadcast. But have a good night, guys. I'll see you.
All right, thank you.
That is your winner here tonight, the 4 of Tyler Helsel, and I mean, given the fact that Francisco Villarreal dropping back all the way to 7th place could be enough right there. I mean, the win was always looking like it was a possibility here for the 4 here tonight. That the cautions weren't exactly timely for him, but he makes it pay off and just gets the lead at the right time at the end of this thing to get the win. But it was the bit of a slide from the 24, the slide his way back to 7th place. That may be enough to allow Tyler to not show up next week and still grab the title here this season. So heck of a run here tonight. He did what he had to do, Joe.
Yeah, and obviously mixed emotions from Tyler here tonight. Probably, I mean, obviously not the way he wants to race, and has shown multiple times this season that he is clean. But you know, it's playoffs, right? And championships are on the line, money's on the line. So you know, people maybe extend that bar a little bit from time to time, and even though they're not intending to or don't have any kind of intentions, that's just the way racing happens sometimes, right? And clearly not the way he wanted to do it, but he gets it done nonetheless. We'll see what the points show before next week and see how all that shakes out. So just really mixed emotions from Tyler here tonight.
One more race left on the schedule that is going to be coming up next week. 100 laps at the Homestead at Miami Speedway. It's a fantastic, beautiful facility, and it's a track that I enjoy racing. I enjoy broadcasting as well. Usually multiple lines there, especially with the trucks. I don't think I've seen it run with the kind of new, freer handling trucks. So we'll see what kind of race it produces next week, but a nice 100-lap race to finish out the season there at Homestead. Thank you again to everyone tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank all our sponsors here on the season: Kohr Crabbing Supplies, Keep Digging, MVV Travel Co., Drop Gear Racing, GTR Simulator, Desert Rose Bow Company, Cookies for Kids Cancer, and yes, Chevy and Ford. Keith says yes.com, Hurricane, West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia. Check them out if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, and mention they're either Big Duke's stream or mention the league here. Get yourself $1,000 off a new or used vehicle. But that is going to do it here for CRN's broadcast of the YESCAR Truck Series from Indianapolis. For myself and Joe, we'll see you at the track.
Thank you.